Before we start, this episode of Gayish contains information about the drug Truvada. Although we do attempt to provide well-researched content, we are not medical professionals. Nothing presented in this program should be taken as a substitute for a discussion with your doctor. If you would like more information about the prevention of sexually transmitted infections, please call the National Prevention Information Network at 800-458-5231. And now, enjoy Gayish.
Tell me it gets better. Say that it gets better. O.P.S. I'm gay-ish.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish,
the podcast that never looks a gift horse dick in the mouth.
Just put it in.
You just
mouth.
Don't question, put it in, and smile if you can.
Yeah, like a donut. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today,
we're going to talk about PrEP.
We're going to talk about PrEP. I am prepared to talk about PrEP.
I'm quit. That's not, I can't. I don't. I refuse.
Great. Also, everyone should know, I think this is Gayish history. I've been drinking for several hours and you have had not a drop.
I am not drinking temporarily, and it's very confusing. My system is restarting itself. It's like, oh, this is regular life where you're not constantly intoxicated.
You Control-Alt-Deleted your liver.
Yeah. So this will be, I don't think I like being the most sober person anywhere. So
I don't like you sober either. So
everyone agrees. Okay, good.
But first,
do
you have anything?
One, it's not a correct. Well, it is a correction.
Ooh, correction. Are we going to fight again?
No. I don't. Well, we can fight if we want to, but it'd be.
Never underestimate my ability to turn something into a fight.
Who knows what factual statement you can believe you're saying, and then Mike suddenly. Okay, no. Thank you for those who sent in CBT, which is one of the things that Ryan Wheaton from X-Rated Movies read from the news, like the magazine.
All those ads from the 80s porn.
Yeah. So CBT, we guessed completely incorrectly. It stands for cock and ball torture. Thank you for all of those that emailed us. Please stop now, because now we know what it is. No, but thank you for those who explained what it is.
You know, facts don't matter. It means whatever it means to you, Kyle.
I think it just means cock. That's not necessarily what the letters are, but I just have cock on the brain.
Devil's Triangle is a drinking game. Boofing is flatulence.
Boofing?
CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy, according to somebody else who weighed in.
What's boofing?
Oh, you've not been watching the Kavanaugh hearing?
No, I have. I haven't heard that one. I've heard FFFF, which is not a shortened verb.
It's not a stutter.
It's not. It's like find 'em, figure 'em, fuck 'em, forget 'em.
Yep.
I haven't heard boofing, though. That's a fun word.
He was specifically asked about boofing by one of the Republican senators. Democratic senators. And he had written in his yearbook, "Have you boofed yet?" And apparently it means one of two things, either anal sex or putting alcohol up your ass to get drunk that way. And when asked about it, can you fucking believe we're even fucking asking these kinds of questions at a confirmation hearing? He said it refers to flatulence. So he claims he wrote in his yearbook, "Have you farted yet?" Okay.
Put a butt plug in that.
Butt plug.
We're going to come back to that.
It is up there. Okay.
It's there, ready, waiting, excited for the day. To be honest, if people went back to read things that I wrote or did, I would not meet any standards of anyone's confirmation hearing.
But wouldn't you say, this is what it means, I was 17?
No, Mike, I wouldn't. I would be very angry. Don't you dare come to me with that. It means caring for your grandma. I boofed my grandma, and it felt good.
Grandma boofing. I love it.
She died the next day. It's unrelated. Okay, what news things do you have?
Wait, did you see Matt Damon be Brett Kavanaugh?
Yes, I actually watched it here with you.
Did you see Matt Damon be Brett Kavanaugh? Yes, I actually watched it here with you. Wait, did you see Matt Damon be Brett Kavanaugh?
Yes, I actually watched it here with you.
This is the impact you have in my life. Totally forgettable.
No, I think I'm so pervasive that just you, like, I'm just a part of you. Like, you don't remember that a time when I'm not here because I'm just always.
Well, like that,
I am always.
like that butt plug that we have.
Always.
Whatever we're returning to later.
Yeah.
Okay. News things. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the first, we have to talk about this Trump administration change. They are now saying that same-sex partners of UN staff members need to either get married or leave the country.
Interestingly, for some partners, they're like, see, even Trump wants you to shit or get off the pot.
Right.
I'm just imagining like some gay out there is like, Tommy, you better fucking propose to me. And now he has his push.
Except they might be same-sex partners from many countries that don't recognize same-sex marriage, and so they can't.
Yeah. I was thinking about this, and so this is the same policy as straight married people.
Or unmarried people, right? Like if you are a diplomat from some country and you have an opposite gendered partner who is not your spouse, that person has to get their own visa.
Right.
You can't just bring them into the United States because you're part of the UN. However, we extended rights to same-sex couples because before Obergefell, we didn't recognize gay marriage in this country and said, like a lot of companies do with benefits, we will still cover you because you can't get married.
Yeah, domestic partner is as close as you can get. So for our purposes, let's just use that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was thinking like even ignoring just thinking about countries where same-sex marriage is legal, like to have it, especially in the US, have it passed so recently and then require them to get married, like that's like not that much time to be like, okay, you better have taken the plunge now. Like, you know, but then that added complexity is what you're about to say.
Yeah. Well, just that there are lots of same-sex couples whose commitment to each other is equivalent to a marriage, who in their home country do not have the option of getting married.
Right.
But we are now applying the standard that we do equally, which that's kind of something worth noting, right? That we're treating everybody the same from a legal perspective.
Yeah, but like it's one of those forms of equality that's actually discrimination because of the historical disenfranchisement of one of the groups.
That's like all of those asshole conservatives that used to say, like, you're not being discriminated against, Kyle. You can marry the woman of your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's really sort of upsetting. It was Hillary Clinton. Have you heard of her?
No, tell me more. She sounds like a good presidential candidate.
She was Secretary of State and then ran for president.
Yeah.
But she was the one who put in the policy that said that same-sex couples would be recognized for visa purposes by the U.S. for the State Department. And of course, because she did it, it has to be undone.
Oh, yeah.
Next. So Netflix has a new show coming out called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And it's being produced by Riverdale showrunner Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. It starts October 26th this month. But one of the characters is going to be a pansexual warlock named Ambrose Spellman.
Spellman?
Who is non-binary.
Oh, wow.
And the actor chosen is also non-binary. The character uses they, them pronouns.
Okay.
And I'm uncertain. This is a great question, actually. Maybe somebody knows the answer. Do you say actor or actress for somebody who is non-binary? Because it seems to support the patriarchy to just default to actor, but at the same time, actress is definitively female.
Yeah. I actually was thinking about this recently, and I don't know why. I just, in my mind, think of Meryl Streep talking about herself, and she says actor. I think it's not just actor, it's actor. So I think that's how she says it. So
right. Yeah.
I would go with actor.
Okay. All right. Well, so the character who is non-binary is being played by a non-binary actor. Their name is Lachlan Watson. Anyway, it's a whole like Sabrina the Teenage Witch reboot, basically, but it's sort of darker like Riverdale was compared to the Archie comics. And they're really trying to embrace the idea that there needs to be representation for non-binary people. And we tried to talk about non-binary from time to time, but we haven't really done an excellent job of bringing them under the umbrella or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I've tried my best now, even if
You've been failing. This is why I'm doing this.
I've been trying, if I accidentally say like men and women, I try to add on and non-binary people.
You've been way better about it than I have. I usually just apologize for fucking it up.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I kind of want to watch the show now. I didn't watch Sabrina the first time around. I didn't watch Riverdale, even though apparently there's lots of fucking hot fucking dudes on there. Anyway, I missed Sabrina the first time around, and
Is it a cat? Is this non-binary character a cat? Is this actor playing a cat, a talking cat, a magical talking cat, a black magical talking cat that lives with Sabrina?
They identify as a cat. No, you have to cut that. That's not okay.
Oh yeah, because everyone is like, oh, I identify as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and like, no, you fucking don't.
Right.
You don't feel in your heart of hearts that you're.
Okay, then don't cut it because now people understand it now.
Yeah. You're saying that ridiculous.
I can neither confirm nor deny the presence of pussy on this show. Based on this article.
Okay. I mean, if they don't have some form of a talking cat, that's what I remember from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
But it was clearly a robot.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, it's one of those you go back and look at and you're like,
I just said I didn't watch it. Now I know about the robot cat.
So let me tell you about that cat in great detail.
Okay, great.
No. Cool.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Last but not least.
Okay.
So, oh my God. Okay. So, there was a Catholic minister in Cleveland.
Oh, I'm already so nervous. Okay.
Who is an outreach minister, which an outreach minister is like the recruiter, who goes out and like befriends all the kids. And
yeah. I mean, there's too much in-reaching, so like, I don't know we want any outreach.
Yeah. So he is 39. He went to a gay wedding, posted a bunch of pictures of it on Facebook, and was fired simply for attending and posting pictures of a gay wedding.
Wow, shit.
Yep.
Do we know his orientation?
He is gay, but had not previously told them about his sexuality. It was a don't ask, don't tell situation.
So all they knew is he attended this.
All they knew that he attended this wedding. He was called into a meeting with his supervisor and a member of staff from HR. And he said, quote, they sat me down and they said, we have seen some things on Facebook and Twitter and would like to talk to you about that. It was a very quick meeting. The very next day, I received a letter that said I was terminated.
Damn.
Yep.
That's so, I mean.
I think so on top of the what the fuck factor of this story, yeah. I think that the case is building that they, quote unquote, they know they're losing. The Mormons, the Catholics, the right wing, like they know that they are losing. Like brown people are going to be over 50% of the population soon, and gay people are being accepted into society, and women are owning their bodies and being a force to be reckoned with. And they know that they are losing, and they are totally amplifying their knee-jerk reactions to things because they're running scared.
See, I would have thought it'd be the opposite of like, so you think they're increasing some of the like anti-gay or that kind of activity because of that?
My gut tells me that 10 years ago, if Facebook had been a thing, which I guess it was, but like more of a thing than it was 10 years ago, somebody were to post pictures of themselves at a gay wedding, nobody would have given a flying fuck. But I mean, everybody's all incensed, and
well, I just think like the leaders would not have known and what Facebook is enough to have found that.
Well, okay,
and there wouldn't have been a gay wedding.
How do they? Well, that's true. How do they know what Facebook is now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone knows about Facebook now.
I guess my grandpa's on Facebook. So
yeah.
That's it.
That's the news?
Yeah, that's the news.
All right. Are we ready to talk about PrEP?
Let's talk about PrEP.
Okay. So, to set us up, Anthony, who...
sounds hot.
Yeah, he's cute. He is NightFox48309 on Instagram.
Okay.
I got permission. I actually, like, responded and was like, can I use this end quotes?
Wow.
Podcaster, official podcaster.
Great.
Doing official things. He sent this. Instagram has ways to message people. This is a new thing I learned by having to get on.
You?
He was talking about this Grindr hookup who told him, I got tested yesterday. And so Anthony was like, how'd it go? Hookup said, tested negative. And he was like, great. How about all the other tests? And the guy was like, what? He only tested for HIV. Oh. So Anthony was
also,
like...
does HIV come back that fast? If somebody's like, I got tested yesterday, and I'd be like, how did it go? And they said negative, I'd be like, bullshit. It takes longer than that.
Well, I think it depends on the test. I think they're like... I don't know if there's any test that can come back the next day, but... And also, even if it...
I mean, your SATs take weeks, so
so much time sending that blood sample through the Scantron machine. Do they still have Scantrons, or is it all like digital
yeah,
now?
but now it's and you fill in the dots with blood.
And that's your HIV test. Yeah, but the other thing though, even if you get tested, like even if you can get a test that gets you results the next day, like HIV can also take time to actually appear in test results. So anyway, so he's like, this hookup was like, no, I got tested for all the other shit like 8 months ago. And so Anthony was trying to figure out what was going on. And he said, quote, he believes that PrEP creates a supernatural force field around his penis because he thought none of the other, you like couldn't get any of the other STIs just by taking PrEP. So this is one of many false, incorrect ideas people have about PrEP.
I'm realizing now that we should maybe back up and say what PrEP is.
Oh, should we do that first? Sure.
Right. Because there might be people out there that have never heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know that when I told my family about it, I mean, this was like a year ago, but they had no idea whatsoever. Yeah.
So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis.
Yep.
And it prevents HIV. It's very effective at preventing HIV for people who are both negative right now and then also have risky are at high risk for HIV, which if you're gay, like you're in that category.
So it's a little blue pill, not a little blue pill. It's kind of a big blue pill. And you take it every single day. And
I've had bigger.
As long as you are taking it every single day, your risk of getting HIV is reduced by 90%.
Oh, I've seen 99%. Some things like it's over 90%. But yeah, I've seen a lot of things saying 99%. Something else that Anthony said that I like is, so he was basically suggesting do an episode about PrEP. So here you go. And something else. So he didn't end up hooking up with him. He's like, nah, girl, like you gots to bounce. I said that. He didn't say that. And he was like, in telling us we should do this episode, he said, it's not just ratchet hoes that think this. It's dudes that have too much hair product in their hair too. Which I like that like distinction between like, so yes, this is for both the ratchet ass hoes and for the people with too much hair.
Quick disclaimer. Mm-hmm. Listening to this episode is less effective than taking the pills. So
listening to this gives you a high rate of ear gonorrhea infection.
Go to your doctor. Tell them I do butt stuff. Mm-hmm. They'll take some blood and do tests and stuff.
That's a good way to figure out how savvy your doctor is if and why you need someone who knows and understands the gay community, because if they're not talking to you about PrEP, if your doctor is not talking to you about PrEP and you told them you're gay, they don't change, get out, find a new one.
I guarantee that there's some, let's face it, white doctor in their 60s in some, I'm going to pick a random state, Alabama, who doesn't know that PrEP is a thing. You may have to go to your doctor and say, no, I heard it from Mike and Kyle that there's a magic pill I can take that stops AIDS.
That is a force field for my dick. Okay, well, let me tell you, I'll start by telling you a little bit more about PrEP.
Okay.
We should also clarify, like, other PrEP uses are for people who share needles to use drugs, and like, I think women can use it and trans people can use it. There are a bunch of other cases. We're pretty much focusing on gay men in this discussion. So,
but That doesn't change the efficacy of the drug, right?
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, it
you
was,
just have to be high risk, and there's a lot of ways to get AIDS. And
it does.
Oh my
actually.
God! I just said AIDS. I've been trying really hard not to say that.
Fuck. Yeah. If you
HIV.
if you don't know, HIV is very different than AIDS.
HIV is the virus that leads to AIDS.
Right. AIDS is like once you get to a point where it's, like Godzilla to your immune system. But there is I saw there were differences in the efficacy of the drug. I use your word. Don't shake your head at me. You used it. I used it back. When like for drug users, it was less effective at preventing HIV. So I just want to make it clear there are different stats for people that are not who we're talking about. We're just talking about the gay men.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know, right?
I wonder why. Maybe because apparently the virus lives in your blood primarily, and it can get in your semen and it can get in other body fluids, but primarily
maybe
lives
there's
in
your
something
blood.
about
like
so because the needle goes into your
directly.
blood, maybe that makes it less efficacious.
Efficacious, is that a word?
We're gonna look it up. Efficacious. Adjective.
Did you say efficacious?
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
Of something inanimate or abstract, successful in producing a desired or intended result.
Fuck off. Okay, PrEP.
Hey. Go ahead.
Okay. So in general, over 90% effective. I've read it's 99% effective when you take it once a day.
Yeah.
It's basically like once a day for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Until you stop.
Yep.
And then
who would do that?
But even if you don't, like, even if you miss a day, like, keep taking it, because if you take 4 per week, so if you miss 3 days, it's still 96% effective. And if you only take 2 a week, it's 76% effective. So
Interesting.
Just because you forget a day, like sometimes I do with my depression medication, and don't just call it all off and like everything's over. Just, pick up taking it and it's still going to be helpful.
I mean, it's probably better to wear 4 condoms, but
Yep. Just chug your PrEP and day 1 of the month, and it'll just last you the full month long.
Oh my God, they'll probably get to the point where you can do like one of those like birth control. You can do the thing under your skin. And like you get all the PrEP all month, and you don't even have to worry
regulates
about it.
Do you think they'll do like the Nuva ring, the Truva ring, which is like
ring,
Truvada ring?
It's a cock ring.
That was also like sticking into your dick so that it like. Ouch. Some people would be into that. Okay, so it was Truvada is the brand of PrEP. PrEP is the like. It's pre-exposure, so like preventing it beforehand. So Truvada is the brand name of the medication, which was approved by the FDA for PrEP in 2012. So this is a very recent drug that has been available.
Yeah, and I remember when it very first hit the market, where I reacted very negatively to the idea of it, and I wonder if other people do too. I don't even remember exactly where I first read about it, but it was like, there's this pill, you can take it. As long as you take it every day, it reduces your chances of getting HIV. And I remember thinking, first of all, who's going to take a pill every day?
All the women are like, yeah, all of us.
Yeah. And what's that going to cost? And aren't you supposed to just do safe sex things anyway?
Yeah. But then you change your mind.
Then I changed my mind,
and it's incredible.
And I have no HIV.
Great for now. So you have to take it for 7 days before it starts becoming effective. That's for gay men, and that's another thing where I saw different. Like if you're like, there are different things. Like if you have vaginal sex, then it's longer. I don't know. So you have to take. There's a different amounts of time you have to take it before it becomes effective. So at least for gay men, you have to take it set for 7 days in a row.
Oh, you're going to take it.
You will. And then after that, boy, you can just take it all over.
Truvada, if you're going to take it, take it.
Take it right. I love that. Take it. Okay, take the pill. Got it. It's a thinker, like all good company slogans. When you're on it, you have to get tested every 3 months to make sure you're still negative, because they don't want to have HIV build up. If someone that's positive takes it, they don't want it to build up they're, it like, it doesn't want to like, they don't want HIV to like give Truvada a hug and be like, we figured you out, Truvada. Let's be on the same team and become resistant.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to talk me out of that, which I've found very helpful, that you have to get tested every 3 months because it forces me to do it. If I am left to my own devices, I'm just a slob eating all kinds of food that doesn't leave the house, so I wouldn't get tested. So this forced me to go in, which is great.
Yeah.
And speaking of cost, there are a lot of...
Wait.
Oh?
You don't just get tested for HIV, though. At least my doctor, most doctors test you for all the things.
You have to get tested for HIV, but at the same time, you might as well toss in there all the different tests you can...
Wait, that other shit's optional?
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Don't quote me on that.
I mean, I won't. I mean, get them all anyway. You should be getting all the tests anyway. You don't want, like, so many STIs are asymptomatic. Like, you can have syphilis for a fucking long time and not really show any symptoms at all. Chlamydia, gonorrhea. These are things that, like, you might not know you have them, but you can sure fucking pass them on to other people. So you should be getting yourself tested for these things.
Yeah.
So if your doctor is like, hey, while we're in there, let's get all the things, you should go for it.
Yeah, we should probably... I don't know that for sure. So, yeah, just get tested. Don't know what for sure. Oh, if you actually do have to get tested for everything else or not. Just get tested for everything.
Do it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of assistance through... a lot of times insurance will pay for it. If not, there are other programs that provide assistance, or like the makers of Truvada, Gilead.
Gilead. Mm-hmm.
Gilead, Gilead.
Which, by the way, is the name of the evil Christian overlords in The Handmaid's Tale.
Sure.
On Netflix.
Obviously.
I mean, it was also a book before that, but who reads?
No, still. Looking at pages for long periods of time. Give me a break. Yeah, you...
Give me a break.
Oh, Jesus.
Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that.
HIV. Wait, no. Prevention. Gilead has... Gilead? Is that Gilead? Gilead? Sounds like I'm mispronouncing Gilligan.
Yeah.
Gilead's Island. The skipper too. You can get... My point is, you can get assistance through their site as well if you can't pay for it. So I think we just need to be tossing PrEP from the rooftops, and you know, it should be like rain. It should just fall from the sky for free.
Yeah. Like Tic Tacs.
Because we all know Tic Tac Sundays where it just rains Tic Tacs. Did you know that Tic Tacs are actually mostly sugar, but they can say it's not sugar because one serving size or whatever is so little sugar that they can say it's zero?
Yeah.
How? No,
I didn't know that, but like it makes sense.
It does make sense. Okay, this is going so long. Jesus.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
Can you tell I'm drunk?
Can you tell I'm coffeeed? Not really. I don't know.
You're highly caffeinated.
I'm going all over the place on everything. Okay.
It explains why your eyes are magenta.
Thanks. I've been working on it. I've been vision boarding magenta eyes, and I think it's working. Okay. Wrapping up. Last thing.
Wrap it up, kids.
This is different than there's something called PEP, which is, do you know what that is, Mike?
PEP.
Yeah.
Post-exposure prophylaxis?
Yeah. No. It's a rally. Yes.
It's a kind of roni. Pepperoni.
Jesus. Got it. You're throwing out a lot of thinkers.
Thank you.
I don't know if that means they're terrible or smart, okay.
It's a fine line.
Okay, wrapping this up. Going for way too long. This is just the what is this? There's so much more to go. Okay.
Yeah, it's like plan B for HIV instead of babies.
Yep, exactly. If HIV is a baby, this is how to kill it. For someone...
It's abortion for your HIV.
Jesus. It's if you think you've been recently exposed within the past 72 hours to HIV, then you can take PEP, and you take it once or twice daily for 28 days, and that can help prevent HIV. So even after the fact, a lot of doctors don't even know this. After the fact, if you take it with it. So you need to like make it urgent. If you think you've had exposure, know you've had exposure to HIV through sex, it has to be within 72 hours. So you got to like be like, hey doctor, this is urgent. I need urgent attention and give me the fucking PrEP.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
What is the efficacy of PrEP?
You know, it's just like it really just gets in there and it just works really hard.
Okay.
And it just tries its best.
Making it a serious question.
Oh, I don't know.
If you're like me and you only get laid like 4 times a year, then should you just go to the doctor when you do get fucked?
I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it just feels better to prevent it rather than like post-vent it.
Great.
That was a thinker too.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. I get it.
Okay. You got it and didn't laugh, so that's why I was confused. Because it was hilarious, just so you know.
Actually, the funniest jokes are the ones I don't laugh at.
Is that true?
No.
I was like, okay, I'm done. You say more things.
You're done with what?
I mean, just all of it. No, my section is over. You do a section now.
Okay, I lied to you a little bit.
Okay.
You might have numbers on this. I really want to talk about, it just came to me like while we were setting this up. I really want to talk about the fact that I think that PrEP has been indispensable to solving the HIV crisis, which, you know, we lost a whole generation of gay men to HIV and AIDS. But I also know that Seattle has, in the last year or so, had a horrible chlamydia outbreak, had a horrible syphilis outbreak. Is that because people think that PrEP gives them a magic force field around their dick?
So I would say, yes, there are people that, or their people that don't understand it and or their doctors don't explain it well enough to them, which like that's a terrifying thought if the doctor's not putting you on PrEP but not giving you the right information.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do think that's for sure part of it, but I did just see a study that I didn't read when I was researching this because I wasn't going to talk about it, that said it's not causing an increase in riskier sex or risky sexual behaviors.
It's not?
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's assume that that's what it said.
Okay.
Airing our dirty laundry a little bit. Is that because gay dudes have always just been fucking without condoms and like they continue to, and PrEP hasn't changed that?
Okay. I will say, personally speaking, once I started, well, I wasn't, I was never really great about using condoms. And then once I got on PrEP, it was like, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
so for me, yeah, it's made me less safe.
I wonder if a whole bunch of things that we talked about before the show, right? The first is I've heard anecdotally now of people who are gay and out, but they are 18, 19, 20 years old. And to them, 2012 was a long ass time ago. They don't remember a time before PrEP. Their doctor put them on PrEP and they don't really know why they're on PrEP. And so they still think they can get HIV. They're just on this drug. And combine that with a whole bunch of people that think PrEP solves all of their dick problems. They're basically super dangerous people, right?
Yeah. Like not being aware of PrEP is like scary to me because we have, you know, something that is really good preventative measure that not everyone is using. And then also the misinformation though is, it can be even more dangerous because it can give you a false sense of confidence that you shouldn't have. Like, yeah. So I have a little bit of numbers on this, but
okay.
Did it make you sluttier? I mean, like, or less safe, a less safe slut?
Interesting. I
will, while you're reflecting upon your level of sluttiness, I will say for me, I am like I could be the poster child of like, I started taking PrEP, didn't use condoms, and I got all the STIs. I have had so many of them. It's really fucking annoying. It's because I was like, oh, like whatever I get, I can just like get a shot and it'll be fine. But like during that time, like, so you have like whatever symptoms, if it is symptomatic, like symptoms, you have whatever those symptoms are, you feel really dirty. Like I just felt my body felt dirty during that. I then had to, it's really awkward to be like, hey, whatever your name is, BT Dubs got the Sith, like you better go get tested. That's uncomfortable. Then you can't have sex during that time that you're, preventing or like getting treated for it. So yeah, it interacted, like I told my story during the weddings episode about it, like has weird interactions with other medication, like my depression medication. So like, I am not doing what you should do. And that's why I have gotten so many STIs. So, just do like I don't do and just wear a condom.
Do as I say, not
as I
do.
fuck. Okay. Have you figured out, did you get less safe?
So Trevor and I came out in 2008. PrEP was not a thing.
Right.
And so my first forays into gay sex were without that as an option. And I was quite careful. Now, part of that's the newness of it. Like, oh my God, HIV is this huge giant thing. There's the fear that I'm gay now, I'm going to get AIDS and die. Yeah. And so I was quite careful. Right or wrong, and I think still mostly right, I was not afraid of oral sex at all. Giving or receiving, that was like safe. Yeah. As long as I didn't have any sores on my mouth. Yeah. I figured blow away. And I mean, who uses condoms for oral sex? That's horseshit. Oh my God, yeah. It is really low rate of HIV infection when you are the receiving oral partner. So that's not to say it can't happen, because it has, but it's just rare. Yeah. But as far as butt sex was concerned, I was quite careful. I was less careful as a top than I was as a bottom, which unfortunately is also borne out by the statistics. And then Trevor and I got together, and like lesbians, we got married immediately. Right. Not really. We dated for a while, but you moved in like right away. We moved in real fast. Yeah. Then fast forward, we were monogamous for a long, long time. And so when PrEP hit the scene in 2012, I knew about it and I had thoughts and feelings about it. I had lots of friends that were on it, but it wasn't a concern. It wasn't a thing. There was no increased sluttiness for me to have. Yeah. Right. By the way, when you say PrEP hit the scene, I'm just imagining like it's Studio 54 and like PrEP comes in wearing a like pop collar and everyone's like, oh, PrEP's here. And it's like, it's hitting the scene. PrEP bucks in the bars like, what up? I got a big cock. Yeah, I just pictured it. Anyway, should I say more things? Yeah, I think so. I guess. We're not sure. It may or may not lead to increased sluttiness. Oh, yeah, that's right. We were talking about that. Yeah. It's very difficult for me to tell whether it was a byproduct of PrEP or not. And my time since Trevor left and I have been single and mingling, I have been less safe. Is part of that because you have the fail-safe PrEP? I think it's the same as what you were just saying, that like HIV is the 300-pound gorilla of the STIs, and actually a 300-pound gorilla would have like sick abs. That's very light. That's very svelte for a gorilla. Yeah. An 800-pound gorilla. HIV is the 800-pound gorilla of STIs, and if that one is off the table because of this magic force field inducing pill, then anything else I can handle. Yeah. Although, and even that I know is a danger. I have the same mentality, obviously, but even that's a dangerous philosophy, because the more people are treated for STIs, the more resistant they can become to the treatments. Right, there's like, what is it, like super syphilis or something that's like coming about. So super gonorrhea is a thing. Oh, is that okay? Yeah. So like STIs are getting scary and scarier, and might be another reason to just stay safe. Oh, maybe everybody should just be on PrEP all the time, always. Like if your liver can handle it, if your kidneys can handle it, if your metabolic panel shows up okay after you've been on it for a while, maybe you should just be on it, because yes, you love your person, they love you, you trust each other, and you're happy, and things are awesome. And sometimes shit happens. Like, statistically speaking, people fuck. And, like,
Is that true? Is that true? Is that according to statistics?
Yeah.
Statisticians agree. People be fucking.
And, like, why not just be safe? Like, if your insurance is going to cover it, then just stay on it. And yes, you and Mr. Right or Mrs. Right can be...
Or non-binary, non-binary right.
Great. Yeah, Dr. Right. You can be...
Senor Right. Oh, shit, that's a dude. Fuck, sorry. Okay.
You can just be together and with nobody else and have no concerns.
You can have a little
total peace of mind.
Yeah, you can have a cute little Truvada pill routine where you wrap your arms around each other and then like or feed them to each other. It's very sensual.
Oh, you can get a piece of lasagna and put your pills in the middle, and then you can totally Lady and the Tramp until you get to your Truvada.
Except it's just like Tramp and Tramp. Tramp and the Tramp.
There ain't no ladies here.
Nope. Okay, so I will talk a little bit about some things you touched on. So there is a study that...
By who?
By Hammock, Meyer, Kruger, and Lightfoot and Frost. Lightfoot.
Oh my God.
That's not your name.
Hammock.
Oscar Mayer Wiener, Freddy Krueger, Little Lightfoot, and Robert Frost.
Great. It's like the Robin Hood's Merry Men
for HIV. It was published in PLOS One. Don't know what that is. Don't ask. And it was published in 2017.
Great.
They studied.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. In the
early days, I would say by who, and you would
lie. No, I never lied. I just I hate you with 1,000 furies. Okay.
Great.
They studied information about HIV and perceptions of HIV and
it's bad.
True. Yeah, that was stupid. Perception of HIV, not so good. HIV doesn't have a great rap on this tree. A perception of Truvada or PrEP.
Okay.
And it's by, they called them birth cohorts, which sounds weird to me, and it took me a second to figure out that meant just like age groups.
People born at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's a birth cohort.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cult where you just like, you have this group of other inductees that then like all poop out babies at the same time.
Yeah, or like you go to a family reunion and then you bring like 20 people with you and just say, Mom, you're over it. This is my birth cohort.
Okay. So one thing we mentioned that gay men are at risk, or the like group that's at risk for getting HIV, and that's because 70% of new HIV infections are gay men, bi men, and men who have sex with men. So high risk, high reward. That's not true, but that's the normal finishing to that sentence. Anyway, so the cohorts they looked at were 18 to 25.
Okay.
34. Jesus. 34 to 41.
Also hot.
I'm not in that. I'm too young.
Baby face.
Too young. But too old for the young one. And then 52 to 59. Those were the age ranges that they studied. And they called them like young, middle, and old. So I don't know that that's great.
Okay,
like,
no, wait. I am on record as saying many ageist things.
Uh-huh.
And 59 is not old. Fucking get your shit together.
I mean, for purposes of this study, I may use the experienced cohort. That's what I'll call it instead of saying old, because I don't like saying that.
They really should have said twink, normal, and daddy.
But you can be younger and be a daddy, I think. You can be a
Coming soon, our episode on daddies.
Well, we're going to do an episode about all the categorizations of gay men. Okay. This is why this episode is taking so long. Okay. I'm going to try to focus.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
Alcohol makes my ADD meds not work.
Great. Coffee makes me amazing. Okay. So, one thing that stood out to me, this is not the results of the study. Men in their 30s and 40s today, that's us, were largely too young to have experienced personal losses, but they experienced childhood and adolescence at the height of the epidemic, and thus likely associate sex with other men with disease and death.
Yeah.
Which that actually, I thought of you when I read that because, you've said...
I'm old. I get it.
Because you're middle. You're not old, you're middle. You're medium experienced. But you've talked about how, like, especially after your first sexual encounter, like, reinforces, but the idea of sex with men was bad, negative view of that. And
or at the very least, dangerous.
Dangerous,
right?
yeah.
Like, not necessarily shame or... ethical badness, but definitely dangerous and scary.
Yeah. And that could be, growing up in the time we did, could be one of the reasons that, contributed to that.
Especially in a conservative part of the country.
Yeah. Okay, so now on to fun numbers. This is actually really interesting.
69. That's a fun number.
That's a fun number.
699.
I was going to say 6,969.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to focus now here on out. Oh, except for what you're about to say. What?
I love oral.
Was that?
6s and 9s, I think is great.
Okay. That was the extent of your...
Continue.
Perfect. In case you were wondering. Okay. The more experienced group, 52 to 59, and the middle group, 8% of them had never been tested for HIV. The young group, 25% had never gotten tested for HIV. Maybe they're not having sex yet, or...
it's not because they're not having sex yet. No, that's fucking bullshit. It's not because they're not having sex yet. It's because they don't think that HIV is dangerous anymore.
Yeah. Well,
and it's probably things like PrEP and
well, and that's the generation that is, we were just aware of it because of when we were born, and we didn't have PrEP yet, and the dangers were like, everyone's still like really fearful about it. But this generation then are like kind of another level removed from that experience of the AIDS crisis. So
it's why our parents are terrified of computers.
Because they might get AIDS?
because they didn't grow up having them around to destigmatize them. And
yeah. So if you've had one sex, go get tested. It's scary, but like every gay dude does it.
If you've had zero sex,
well, you're gonna, I guess you can get it from birth.
You don't know if your slutty mom gave you chlamydia when you were born.
Well, you would know. You probably know about chlamydia, right?
I don't know. It's asymptomatic. Asymptomatic sometimes, isn't it?
It makes that noise. Chlamydia. Okay, here's the guessing.
Okay.
What percentage overall, across all the age birth cohorts, what percentage use Truvada?
10%. That actually seems high, but that was the first thing that jumped in my brain.
You engaged in a way that I wanted you to. So
I let you totally dom me.
I dom topped you. First time for everything.
If I were to break it down and be Mike about it, I would say it's probably single digits, probably less than 5%. Go ahead.
See, this is why I don't like that, because it's 4%. And again, like the reason I don't like this game, and I just force you to say a number, because 4% seems super low to me. 4% of them
like
taking
your gut reaction is that it's low, or
yeah.
I mean, it is low.
Yeah,
that is a terrible.
On a scale of 0 to 100, it's by definition low. So yeah, it's the age groups, it's not too much variance. It's anywhere between 3 and 6% depending on the ages. So it's not really an age thing that is playing into it. It's just, I thought more gay people would be taking it.
So part of it, I think, has to be the cost involved. Like it is very, very expensive, and lots of insurance companies will cover it, but I don't imagine that all do.
Right.
We live in a state on the left coast, the liberal bubble blue that we are, and Washington State makes it very, very easy to get access to Truvada. And Seattle is a highly educated city with a large gay population that gives information and education and access. And so I think that PrEP is likely much, much higher in the greater Seattle area among gay men.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a national average.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely, I saw that being in a non-urban area decreases your likelihood that you're familiar with PrEP. So that's definitely a factor. So 4% of people are using Truvada as PrEP. Okay, so Mike, give me your guess.
Okay, same rules?
Same rules.
Don't think?
Don't think.
Just answer?
Kyle it.
69.
Don't think. Great.
Okay, go ahead.
Overall, what percentage of people are familiar with PrEP?
10%.
It's actually closer to the 69%. It's 60% are familiar with PrEP.
No.
Okay. We'll talk to the Robin Hood clan of gayness. So the middle group is the one that's most likely to be familiar with it at 80%. And the young and the experienced are somewhere in their 50s percentages. 50s. They're in their 50s percentage. They're in the 50s percent wise. The percent is in the 50s. I don't know how to say that. Okay. But so
that's my favorite sentence you've ever said.
Does it count as a sentence? Okay.
Nor did you really say it. You kind of stuttered it. Like,
so, obviously we need to get more people to be aware of it because it should be closer to, it's never going to be 100, but closer to 90%. Like that should be something every person knows about that exists, gay or straight. Everyone should know that this is an option. But the fact that 60% of people know about it and 4% take it, like that needs to be studied more and figure out what is going on there. And I think you're right that the cost is a big thing. And
there's a stigma too there, right? Like you're basically admitting to your doctor, yep, I fuck.
That's usually how I lead most appointments with any doctor. Here's the deal. I love oral and I fuck. What do you got? Give me all the meds I need for those things. So you're more likely to be familiar with PrEP if you have more than a high school education.
Yep.
And you're less likely to be familiar with it. I mentioned non-urban area or also being bi.
What?
I wonder if bi people don't run in the gay circles. I feel like if you have a group of gay friends, the odds that you all know about it, this is just my guess, would be higher because just one of you needs to know it, then you all know it.
Kyle, you just blew my mind.
Why?
If you're a bi person and your partner is a straight person and not a bi person, but is straight, there's probably a lot of intense pressure to associate with straight people and be exposed to straight people things. And
that's part of bi erasure is that then everyone assumes you're straight if you're with an opposite gender person. And maybe even your couple friends, they might be straight or you might.
I just imagine and of course I always go with a dude and I'm sorry, but if you're a bi dude and you're with a straight woman and you live together and you're happy, do you go to gay trivia at Queer Bar and hang out with your gay friends?
I think that's the more progressive thing to do is
I just doubt it happens naturally. Very often. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like there would be pressure is maybe the wrong word, but
maybe harder to gay people are notoriously shitty to bi people. So even within our community, I think it's hard to be bi. What?
I was going to say, I'm totally projecting because of my ex-wife is a cunt and that straight girls are crazy and possessive and would never let their man who is yes, I'm into men, go hang out with men.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely projecting.
I also don't think that straight women would allow their man to go hang out with a bunch of hot chicks.
I think that's the old way of thinking. I think that's 90s sitcom way of thinking.
It is the middle way of thinking.
I'm the middle.
Cohort is in the middle.
Anyway, so many tangents. This isn't what we're talking about. Mike, do you want to say things?
I just wanted to say briefly. That one of the newest HIV treatments on the market is called Genvoya. And Genvoya is this mixture of 4 drugs that allow people with HIV to be undetectable, untransmittable, and healthy. And
what are those 4 drugs?
Elbaptegravir.
Damn it.
Sobixtat, emtricitabine, and tenofovir.
And Vicodin, just for some funsies.
Yeah. And Molly. But 2 of those 4 drugs are Truvada.
Oh.
Truvada is a mixture of 2 drugs. It's amitriptyline and tenofovir.
Obvi.
So the point is just that when you take PrEP, when you take Truvada, you're actually, in a way, taking half of what the very best treatment for HIV is on the market. And these drugs affect things on a DNA level, that viruses in general, but HIV in particular, invade your cells, reprogram your cells to create more of the virus. So viruses don't reproduce on their own. They don't sexually reproduce. They don't lay eggs. They create themselves by co-opting your own cells to make more virus.
They're like the pirates of the bacterial world, or the microscopic world.
Yes, exactly. Johnny Depp is in your mitochondria.
Just hobbling around
with
wearing
black pearls
eyeliner.
And yeah. But that whole process of taking over your cells, then reprogramming your cells to make more virus, Truvada at a molecular level stops the ability for HIV to reprogram your cells. If you're on PrEP, you're exposed to HIV. The little HIV viruses, they go into your bloodstream. They try to inject themselves into your cells to make more HIV. Truvada stops that process from happening. It also stops that process from happening for people who are infected with HIV, whose cells are trying to make more of the virus.
So it stops them from like reproducing with the HIV virus attached to it.
Yeah. So I just thought it was really interesting that the very drugs that can prevent you from getting HIV in the first place are used in treatment. And I think that is sort of poetic in a way, but it also... It was really interesting.
Yeah. I think like PrEP not only helps people that are negative and then also helps people that are positive in that way, but also like I heard stories from someone talking about they're in a, like one is positive, one is negative, and it has completely changed their relationship because for the first time they can be together, have sex. They're in a like married, committed, monogamous couple. For the first time they can have sex without a condom and like kind of be with each other in that way, which like there was always that fear of passing HIV to the partner. And now they get to like explore this whole new world of sex and things they can do because of PrEP, which is really like magical and beautiful in that way. So
there are many, many couples where one is pos and the other one is not. Mm-hmm. And they have a healthy, wonderful, lovely sex life together without protection. Well, without condoms.
Right.
And they stay positive and negative despite that because of PrEP.
Yeah, totally. We haven't really talked about our experiences with PrEP.
I said I was going to be merciful and not talk about all of it more, but okay.
Oh,
yeah.
do you? Well,
No. So, whew. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I've been really depressed for a while. Mm-hmm. I ran out of PrEP. I haven't got my shit together to go back to the doctor and get more. Mm-hmm. This has been like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now. And I have a couple of thoughts about that. Okay. The first is when you're depressed and don't have your shit together, it's hard to pick up the goddamn phone and make an appointment of all fucking things. It's the easiest thing in the world, but that becomes really hard.
Or even like going to that appointment then.
And then once you have an appointment, fucking showing up and doing it.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it. There's also the thought, also maybe because I'm depressed, that I'm not getting laid. Why even fucking bother?
Yeah.
And then I wonder if it's self-destructive. Like I've had the impulse a couple of times now where I was like, God, I hate my life. I'm going to go to the bathhouse. And some little part of me that's stronger than the rest of me that's self-destructive says, well, you're not on PrEP. Nobody wraps up at a bathhouse. They just don't. You could get HIV, so don't do that.
Yeah.
And I worry that there's some self-destructiveness to not being on PrEP now. Like,
it's definitely like depression does, makes you not take care of yourself in the way that you should. And yeah, I think that's part of being healthy. Taking care of yourself is taking PrEP, and that's also can be, 1 pill a day. Like it's not that huge of a commitment, but yeah, when I'm depressed, I may not even take my depression medication, which I should, but like, and then it kind of fuels itself. It's like, oh, I haven't been taking my PrEP. I'm a horrible person. So then you like keep being depressed and not taking it. So it is this cycle of
Yeah.
cycle of sadness.
Well, and I also think I'm a routine enough of a person that if I have it, I will take it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way that we're different. I think like you will struggle with taking your daily medications daily or like at the correct time or whatever. I don't struggle with that, but I have to have them.
Yeah.
Like if I don't have them, there's nothing you can do.
Do you get a monthly supply when you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what. And then like, so then you have to go get the refill, which is another thing. And then, yeah, you do have to go in. It's a good preventive measure they have in place that you have to go get tested every 3 months. But yeah, another like kind of blocker. So like, yeah, I have to schedule my appointment while I'm at the previous one to go, to actually go in. Otherwise I'll never schedule it.
I also almost invariably fail to make an appointment enough in advance of running out.
Oh, all the time.
I'm always on the phone. I have 3 pills left and I'm on the phone like, no, okay, I know the doctor's booked out for 3 weeks, but I have 3 pills. That's 3 days.
Yeah.
I need let's get it. Like, I need to go now. I'm sorry I took so long.
Do they do I've done that before and they've been like, you just plan better. Like they didn't say that, but that's basically.
Wow.
I mean, they were like, yeah, her schedule books up really fast, so we recommend you book her. Like they did the like nice way of saying like, no. So right now, as we are both talking about how great PrEP is and how you should take it. So I'm in a mostly monogamous relationship.
Oh, I'm going to yell at you. Go ahead.
With Jack.
Yep. Your boyfriend, Jack, who is your boyfriend?
Yeah, we both stopped taking Truvada.
Why?
We were just like...
Remember earlier in the episode when I was like, everybody should be on it all the time?
Yeah, and I
always, no matter
completely...
what?
Yeah, and remember when I say, do as I say, not as I fuck?
Yeah.
So don't...
Get your shit together.
I know.
Especially because like you haven't not thought about maybe sometime like taking boys home together.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like sit on it. I'd be like, hey, come home. Give me like a quick 7 days.
Do you know you when you're hammered?
That's very true. I just go to the bar and I say, give me a Truvada cocktail.
Oh, God. Give me 7 days worth right now.
I need it immediately. Okay.
No, that's what gets you in trouble is needing it immediately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I learned...
Wait, no, let's back up. I'm not done yelling at you.
Oh, you're still gonna... Okay.
Yeah. Seriously, why?
Is
this some weird symbol of your trust in each other or like your commitment to each other?
No, it's
because
just...
it's bullshit.
No, I think like...
Your bullshit is bullshit.
No, my bullshit is is non-shit. Yeah, I think I've thought about it like if we were to bring a guy home, it wouldn't be like ass fucking. So you're giving me a look. But so I've thought about like if we got to a point, I don't think we're there. It's because we're not there right now that we would do that. So if we
Where's there in that sentence?
Anal
sex with strangers.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So like that's not what we're doing. So if it got to the place where we were like, hey, yeah, let's do that. And then, I would definitely have to get back on PrEP.
How much does it cost you a month to be on PrEP?
I don't know, like $5 or something.
So you're saving $5.
Yay.
And 4 doctor's appointments a year.
Yeah.
What's your copay for those? Like from a financial standpoint, it's nothing.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's
from
not
a time and
that.
commitment like just for doing the appointments and going to the pharmacy and shit is not nothing, but pretty fucking small.
I didn't go to my last doctor's appointment because I was.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. What's your concern? Like other than like why not do it? But like, is there like what's your fear for me?
HIV.
No, I know, but like, what scenarios are you like?
I feel like you have turned not taking it into a symbol of some kind. That it's not about the taking a pill once a day. It's not about it's not barrier to entry, that's for sure, because it costs nothing.
Yeah.
You've turned it into I don't have to because we in love, and I like that's a nice thought, but just Like, it's so cheap and so easy to get. Fucking just take it and not get HIV, regardless of trust or commitment. It's like you've turned it into a prenup instead of into a, like, just take this pill because you're gay and don't get AIDS. Like,
well, yeah, I think it's more of just, we're both like, oh, well, that's kind of nice. We don't have to take it anymore.
You're not making a medical decision. Like, your doctor's saying you do not meet the risk profile for this medication and therefore should not be on it, is different than, I just don't want to because we're in love.
And monogamous. Anally monogamous.
It doesn't sound like you made this decision with your medical provider, though. You made this decision within the context of your relationship.
Yeah.
And because that's where the value lies for you, for your decision framework.
Yeah, but I also know more than my doctor.
Okay. That's true. No, it's true.
I still don't totally get, I don't know. I'm not like 100% understanding you, like, so I don't, like, why, what the fear is. Is it what if one of us cheats on the other person? Is that what you're thinking?
Without saying which of you did that, yes.
Oh, okay. That makes more, okay.
Like, you both have penises, mix penises with alcohol, and sometimes things happen. Add a relationship to that mixture, and sometimes love makes you say and do crazy things, especially to your partner. And it's not, I love you both. And the possibility is not zero that one or the other of you fucks up, hooks up with somebody, now has HIV, comes home, doesn't say anything
Lies
because you're embarrassed,
and
now the other person has HIV.
Yeah.
When if you had for $5 a month been taking this pill the whole time, that didn't happen to at least one of you. That seems worth it, even if that's a way outside possibility.
Yeah. I was kind of like trying to push you to say that. Like, that's what I thought you might be worried about, but maybe you just didn't want to say it because that's like awkward to be like, what if someone cheats? Like, what if you cheat on him? Like,
no, you both sluts.
But no, I think I'm really glad we got to that point because you're absolutely right. Like, the risk of, that's something that no one wants to, like, say, of like, I know you're in love, but like, what if one of you cheats and doesn't tell the other person? So yeah, that's legit.
I also think we haven't talked about this much. I really believe that not all cheating is equal. Mm-hmm. I believe that there are people out there who cheat with wild abandon and do not feel bad about it. Mm-hmm. And I believe that there are those people who cheat once a year and they have horrible, horrible guilt about it, but it happens and they think they have it under control and they minimize it. And don't get me wrong, I think that person is a better person who is just weak and fucking up. They are not the same as the guy who just can't control his dick or asshole or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's hard to talk about, especially within the context of a relationship. And I think that far, far more people than we are comfortable admitting are that person in the middle.
Yeah. Being in the middle is great. No, but yeah, you're right. And like, that's also very true about like minimizing it. So even with the most honest relationship where you're open with each other, not like monogamous, like minimizing, like, oh, okay, it was with one person, I probably didn't get it. I'll just get myself tested, in a few months or whenever, whatever timeline it takes for you to know. And in that time could, So, all right. I'm going to schedule my appointment and get back on PrEP.
I mean, you have to tell Jack though, like if you've already had the conversation of we're not going to, then yeah. Well,
and I've already like just mostly stopped. You're right. Not with the decision of a medical professional. One, because I'm smarter than them. And also two, because I just didn't show up to my last appointment. But
neither did I, which is why I'm out of PrEP, but I'm single and apparently I'm supposed to have a sex life, although I don't.
So you hear?
Yeah. Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. You're a risky slut.
You're a risky slut.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
All right, Matt, this is for all the money.
Oh my God, what do I do? Can I call a friend? I call Ryan Whedon.
Hello?
Brian, it's me, Matt.
Oh, yeah, huh?
I'm in a pickle. I need your help.
Sure, what is it?
Get Google ready, because I need to find a podcast where two gays who used to date and now they don't talk about movies.
Well, the only one off the top of my head is X-rated movies, EX-rated movies. They talk about all sorts of movies, like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
And Muppets Take Manhattan?
Yeah, and Magic Mike XXL.
What about Xanadu?
Yeah, that's on there too.
Oh my god, I think that's the right answer.
Well, obviously time's running out, so I hope that's your final answer.
My final answer is X-rated movies.
You got it.
Oh my god, if I want to listen to this, where can I find it?
Well, Matt, just go to xratedmovies.com. That's where all the podcasts of this type are found. Also on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. That's X-rated movies.
Well, you can bet your bippy the moment I get back from Disneyland, that's the first thing I'm gonna do.
So are we back?
We're back.
We're back!
Yay. Okay, we're going to do our gayest and straightest.
We're going to do our gayest and straightest, but first, our website is...
Wait.
What?
But first, I want to plug,
No. Oh, I had a butt plug in. Why did I have a butt plug in? Did we cover that?
Well, why did you have a butt plug in? I think I covered it.
Okay, great.
I just forgot that we had done that. So we're going to be at the Portland Podcast Festival. We now know that we are going to be there on November 10th. We still don't know what time, but November 10th is the date, 2018, if you're listening to our back catalog in the future. It's going to be us and a ton of podcasts. So if you want to... Don't come for them, come for us. And it's going to be probably like a bunch of people like that don't know who we are as well, because they're seeing other podcasts. So like, if you can support us, help us, because we're going to be like, hey, everybody, let's talk about fisting. And this group of people is going to be like, hello, who are you? Like, what's happening?
Is November 10th at the Hawthorne Theater and Lounge, and tickets are $20. You can get them at pdxpodfestival.com/tickets.
Cool. Now all our other shit.
Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Your mom's face.
We're on your mom's face. Only when she consents. And it's under Gayish Podcast. Or our Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/Gayish Podcast.
Also, you can reach us on our hotline, which is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
Hooray.
Hooray. What's your gayest and straightest?
Okay. The gayest thing about me this week is this shirt.
Verse Bro?
Yeah, which is the Versace logo, but below it says Verse Bro.
What's that? Why does it say that?
Because this is the Versace logo.
But what's Verse Bro mean?
That's me. I was in a fraternity and I am Verse. I am a Verse Bro.
No, that's not what it... They didn't print out shirts for Verse frat boys.
That's really what it means.
Versace made a shirt.
No.
Oh.
It's a parody shirt. It's making fun of Versace.
Oh, that's not... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Great.
Maybe we'll, if I remember, Instagram a picture or something.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
The straightest thing about me this week, I told too many people, including you, about, like, I just had an epic poop today.
You were telling me why you had a really good day, and you're like, I did this, I achieved this goal, and just an epic bowel movement.
Yeah. And I had a fraternity brother in college who, like, called everybody into his room and then made us all go into his bathroom to look at his question mark poop. He made a poop in the shape of a question mark. He was so proud of the...
Did it have the dot at the bottom?
I don't remember.
Because that'd be like some like cut up. You would, if there was a dot there, you would remember that. That stays with you for life.
Yeah, like Tasmania. It's the dot on the poop that is Australia. Okay, great.
Did you just, how many, are we going to apologize, to Alabama and Tasmania next week? Is that what we're doing?
And Australia and the Versace family.
Everybody, just anyone affected by, if you've been affected by the Gayish podcast, call us at this number.
5855-GAYISH.
No, they're going to have to call a lawyer. It's going to be like a support group for people that have been irreparably damaged by our podcast.
Oh, that's right. If you have a lawsuit, call 5855-GAYOSH.
Verse bro. 585 verse bro.
How about you? Go for it. Do
Okay.
it.
Okay. My gayest thing is, so I'm very happily in a relationship with my boyfriend, Jack.
Who is your boyfriend?
Definitely my boyfriend. And we've just been like happy and fat. So we've been like doing a lot of just hanging out and smoking weed and eating. And I have gained weight. And I'm like always self-conscious about my body. I think I have body dysmorphia, but I'm like especially uncomfortable with my body right now.
Oh,
So that's pretty gay.
that is pretty gay.
Or stereotypically gay.
Yeah.
Because we tell straight people they can just be as fat as they want and you can date, Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's fine.
I also feel it's the stereotype that straight guys give zero fucks. Straight guys have to try a tenth of what women do, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's like pretty normal to see. You don't think twice if you see a bigger guy with a really fit woman, but reverse it and like it's, crazy.
Yep.
But straight men do have body issues and
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's why it's the stereotype and not the truth. That's for you people that hate that we're reinforcing stereotypes. It's not true. Okay.
Stereotypes.
Stereotypes. It's the type of stereotype. Okay, straightest thing is I already said it. I think skipping my doctor. Oh, I skipped 2 doctor's appointments. Fuck.
Kyle,
I know.
fucking A.
I skipped one yesterday too, and it's about something different. I've had what is it? Like leg gonorrhea? I forget what I had. Some skin infection, and I had this 6 months ago is when I got it, and then it
Hot.
and it was horrible, and it causes reactive arthritis in your leg, and
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was the thing on your leg. Yeah.
Yep. And so I've been going back to the doctor to because of the arthritis that it's caused, but now I'm kind of fine. And I think my doctor's they're one of those very overly cautious doctors, which I usually would but he wanted to have another appointment with me where I already think my leg is fine.
Yeah.
So I think that's the stereotypical straight thing to do is I'm
Yeah, it's
fine. Yeah. It's cool.
Got it.
Don't matter. Don't need an appointment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know. Thinking I'm smarter than doctors.
I watched this thing recently where a straight guy had a sore on his arm and it kind of looked like cancer. He Googled it and it looked like cancer. So he got a big knife and cut it off of himself. And then ended up you can't do that to yourself. He still had cancer cells and it metastasized and he died of cancer.
Shit.
Because he was being a fucking straight guy and thought he could just fix it and everything would be fine.
Yeah, or there's a straight guy that ran this giant corporation and thought just taking eating vegetables and having seances would cure your pancreatic cancer. And it did not work in his favor.
Is that it?
That's it.
This has been Gayish. A special thank you as always to Charlie Finn for the use of our theme music.
And a thank you to PrEP for letting me be so slutty. Just unbelievably, you guys have no idea how slutty I've been this past year. Jack, close yours. Just fucking day in, day out. In and out and in and out.
Thank you to Steve Jobs for no reason in particular.
Yeah. Then great. Thanks to Steve Ballmer too. Because why not?
And thank you to the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, whoever those people were that did the study.
The Robin Hood.
Hammock Smits.
Hammock. I want to. Okay, keep going. Who else?
Necky, Dylan, and Green.
Totally it. And Lightfoot. Just got to throw that one in there because it's funny. Yeah. Thanks to just everything.
Great. And our audience.
And
who successfully made me cry this week. Thank you.
Again, it's pretty consistent. Oh, is that one that we read?
Yeah,
you read
whoever you are.
It was thank you're doing it in an angry way in that this is your angry nice thing of thank you for sending that, and we cry all the time at what you say, and I don't know how people are getting so much from our fucking ramblings, but we're so happy that you are, and everyone's awesome and thank you.
This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See you next week.
See you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, stop. No. I've never wished more that you had HIV.
Do you hear what your words bring? Oh.